Hi, I'm Becky. My channel is What Beck Sews. Welcome back if you're a subscriber and welcome if you're new. Today's Friday Sews where I'm going to talk about what I've been up to with you. I hope you're all well, I hope you're all happy, and I hope you've all had plenty of time to sew. It is Friday, finally. Well, it's Thursday when I'm filming this, but it feels like it's been quite a long week for me. I haven't got a lot of sewing done this week, I'll be honest. So I got all my sewing done at the sewing social and I haven't done anything since. I know that I mentioned to you guys that I got diagnosed with something that I had to learn to live with and manage. It's not gonna kill me. It's not, you know, that kind of thing, but it is something that at times will cause me more problems than others. And this week's been a really, really bad week. So sewing just hasn't happened. I have, however, because I've been struggling to move around, I've been doing lots of my Jazz and Wow stuff sitting down, which has been quite nice, making up loads of stuff for the advent calendars that I shared with you that I'm going to be releasing for pre-orders at the end of this month. So that is exciting, and I'm running a competition. So for those of you that don't know and haven't already seen, I'm running a competition over on my Jazz and Wow page on Instagram, which is for 2 different types of advent calendars. So I'm going to have one that is just buttons only. So every day there'll be different magical, wonderful buttons in there that will be tailored for all seasons and all kind of wears. And then the other calendar is a Jazz and Wow specific calendar. So that will incorporate lots of my goodies. So there will be buttons in there, but there will be earrings in there. There'll be any kind of my resin makes in there. So there'll be a few nice surprises in that one as well. So I have an opportunity to win one of each running over on my Jazz and Wow on Instagram account, which I will link down below. And all you have to do is like the post, follow the page on Instagram, share the post in your story, and then tag somebody into it. And then, yeah, at the end of this month, I will announce who the winner is just before I open up for pre-order, because what I don't want to do is announce a winner of somebody who's pre-ordered. So that'll all be done before the pre-order goes out. So it's exciting, but I've seen so many people sharing it and liking it and tagging people in. It's just fantastic. So thank you for everybody that has done that. So yeah, I spent a bit of time on that this week, but I did get some sewing done. So let's talk about what I got finished off, and that was the Avenir jumpsuit that I shared with you guys that I'd started last Friday. So this is a Pattern by Friday pattern company. It's an elasticated jumpsuit that has a raglan sleeve, elasticated top, elasticated waist, and lovely wide leg pants. It's a great jumpsuit because I find sometimes they can be really difficult to get on and off sometimes. So when you go to the loo, for example, it can take you a little while to get undressed. This one is so simple, you just yank it down. Brilliant, very comfortable. I've made this up in a fabric that I got from the lovely Claire Sewing Bear Claire here on Instagram. Yes, Sewing Bear Claire here on Instagram. So we did a little exchange a little while ago after bumping into her at the Stitch Festival, and I think it was her granddaughter that was there, or her daughter that was wearing this particular fabric, and I mentioned that I have been trying to hunt down that fabric for a very long time because it's just beautiful and I absolutely love it, and it's a Sew Hayley Jane fabric. So Sew Hayley Jane is a subscription box service, and she will often, if she's got fabrics left over, put them into her outlet. Get your words out, Becky. Into her outlet. And this particular one, I missed it. So I started trying to track it down, looking at D-stashes, really struggled. Anyway, Claire came up trumps. She sent me the fabric, bless her, and I finally I cut it out ages ago, but I finally got it all sewn up, and I absolutely love it. So I will pop a picture in here of me in it. Now I've made a extra large bottom and a large top. So I went with top as a large, grading out into the extra large bottom. Now, because I've made this particular jumpsuit up in a cotton lawn previously, I felt that that one could be a little bit not tight fitting, but it didn't give me the looseness that I hoped from it. Now that could have been the fabric, and it actually turns out it was the fabric, but I sewed this one up, instead of doing it with the 5/8 of 5/8 seam allowance, I did it with a 3/8 instead, and this just made it a lot more billowy. Now I think if I was to make this up in a viscose again, I could probably get away with doing it with a 5/8 and I would still love the fit, but I do love this. This will last me. I wore it to work. It was very comfortable. It felt like I was wearing pajamas all day. I was just so comfy in it. And I felt really good. I had a few compliments on it, so it was great. So that's the only full completed thing that I've sewn this week, but I have started something else. So I shared with you guys over on Instagram a poll of 2 different fabrics. One was this fabric here, and one was this fabric here. Now I shared both of these as fabrics that were potentials for the Nina Lee Holland Park dress. And I ended up making this one up. Now you guys actually voted for this one, but I have to say, as much as I really like this one, I'm just completely and utterly in love with this fabric. I don't know if I can show you how beautiful this is on screen, but there's like an embroidery running through it in like little lines, curvy lines all the way down. I want to say it's a cotton fabric, but it feels lovely and lightweight like a viscose. I got this from Abercarn, and you've got all of these gorgeous coloured leaves over it, and it is just absolutely stunning. So despite the amount of messages I had and everybody that voted, I still went for this. Sorry guys, I do listen to you normally, but this was just calling. So I've managed to get the front and the back bodice put together. I've also managed to get the casing, dropping that, casing sewn in that you can see there. I've just turned it inside out so you can see it a little bit better. Now the lovely Crafty Clyde on Instagram did drop me a message to say, but I'd already done it by the time I got this message, as a tip to use ready bought bias binding. So this would be a great project if you want to use some of your specky seamstress binding upon. And I agree, next time I think I would do that without making the casing, because actually making the casing took a lot more time than I needed to actually spend on doing this piece. But that's put together, and this weekend I have planned to do nothing. And as planning to do nothing, that means that I should hopefully be well enough to do a bit of sewing. I'm working from home today and tomorrow. I'm going to see an osteopath tomorrow to see if they can do something to help, because they've advertised that they can help this specific condition. So we'll just see. So hopefully this weekend I will be in a position where I can do a bit of sewing and get that Nina Lee Holland Park dress finished. So what else have I been up to? It is the 1st of August today. Now I film on a Thursday. In 19 days, it is my birthday. So my birthday is on the 19th of August, and I am like a child when it comes to my birthday. I love my birthday. It's the most important day of the year, of course, because it's my birthday. But I have to say, Scott asked me the other night what I wanted, and I sat there and thought quite long and hard about what I wanted. I have been doing a massive de-stash, so thank you to everybody that's purchased. I'm trying to clear it down to a more manageable level of fabrics so I don't feel overwhelmed, and I can actually make up things and plan things rather than feeling like I'm never getting on top of it. And when I buy new fabrics, like I've got to share with you some more fabrics, I can make something up with them, because I'm not worried that I'm neglecting the fabrics that are already in my stash. I hope that some of that makes sense to you guys. Anyway, so I decided that I didn't want any fabric from him for my birthday. But we have a huge shed on the side of our house, so it's utilised as like a utility area. Our dogs are raw fed, so we keep the freezers out there. They've got their food in it, and my fabric boxes are stored out there. It's a very big space, but it's been up for about 15 years, and it was built actually by my ex-husband, and it started bowing, and my neighbour did some repair work on their fence, and their fence butts up to our shed. And they took it all down, and when they did, they noticed that some of our electrics are starting to be exposed now. And so because it's bowing, we don't think that it will last another winter, so Scott is going to have to take it down and put it back together. And he's obviously been thinking long and hard about how he's going to do it. He needs to do it in the nicer weather, because obviously we need the rain not to be about whilst it's all taken down, because it's where so much stuff gets stored, and actually I don't even think we'd have room to bring it into the house. we've also been discussing, you know, how we want to set it up. If we're going to tear it down and restructure it, he kind of wants to utilize it better for the dog space where they can stay if I go to work, because I'm only in 2 days a week. We don't tend to leave them. We do have somebody that comes in, but we want to be able to make it easier for them to be able to get in and out. So we've kind of been discussing ways of doing that. And then he's suggested that he puts a sewing and resin space room in the middle. Now, I'm not talking this would be a huge space. This would probably be about the size of your average UK size box room. So like a 4x4 kind of, 4x8 kind of shed space. But he would insulate it for me. He'd pop carpet down for me. He'd put like a little Velux skylight in the room for me and make it like a proper little room. And we can, because we've got electric out there, we can heat it, and hopefully it would act like a room within the house. It wouldn't be too cold. So I've actually said to him for my birthday, I would like whatever it is that he needs to get material wise to contribute to some of the stuff that needs to go out there. Obviously not the whole thing, because that would be ridiculously expensive, and we're not going to be able to do this straight away. We've got to save for this, but just to put some money towards that. So it's exciting. I might end up with a sewing room. Now, he has floated lots of ideas by me. This has been an idea in his head for a long time. We do know we're going to have to do something with the shed space. I'm kind of hoping that means that this will materialise. I suppose when you are a carpenter / builder for a living, the last thing you want to do when you get home and relax is do it at home. But he does think he'll be able to do it in a long weekend, so that would be good. So that has been very much the topic of discussion this week, and things that we've been trying to sort out, the structure of what that looks like, because it's a good size space, how we still keep the storage, how we still keep a small utility area, but how we make it Becky sized resin sewing amazing space out of my kitchen. Fab. Right, I have been ordering some fabrics. Now, Ruanne, you are completely and utterly, shamelessly to blame for this purchase. So I got a text message one evening last week with loads of photos of beautiful fabrics attached, saying, so just so Penrith, don't look. So what do I go and do? Can't just send me beautiful fabrics and tell me not to look. I'm going to look, aren't I? And then of course I'm going to buy. So here is what I purchased. This is a twill fabric. It's lovely. Now, I thought it was described as a viscose twill on the website. I could be wrong, but this is definitely a cotton weight twill, and it is beautiful. And I think it would actually be better suited for the autumn winter time, because it would make a really nice sort of jumpsuit. I think I did get 3 meters of this. I mean, it would make a gorgeous pair of Thea trousers, but I'm not sure how much wear I'd get out of them with this. And then you've got like dubious pattern placement, and we all know how bad I am with my pattern placement. But yeah, this is just stunning. So this is going to go into my winter fabric box, or my autumn winter fabric box, because I've actually sorted my fabrics to a point where I now have an autumn winter fabric box. And I just think it's such a gorgeous print. But I think a jumpsuit, like a boiler style suit, would look fantastic in this. I do have a dress as well that I was thinking would look nice. So I get the Just Sewing and Simply Sewing magazines, and this particular Vogue pattern was in there, and I thought this version here would look fantastic. And because it's that heavier weight fabric, I think it would be absolutely perfect for me to wear through the winter months at work. So I was thinking that that might also be an option. What I quite liked about that particular pattern was in the magazine. Now, I had opened this up, but it fell over a minute ago, which is what's frustrating about this, because I had prepared for this. In the magazine, there is a couple of different versions of these dresses. So that's one particular version. And they've even got a masterclass on the neckline. And then they've got this version here. Now, I love the fact that they've used a model with curves. She just looks stunning. Look at that figure. How fantastic is that fuller figure? The fact that she's just nipped in perfectly here makes me think I would love this style on me. And They've done it in a plain fabric, but I just think that in this particular fabric, that would look gorgeous. So that is an option potentially. I also picked up another fabric from there. It's very plain, very boring, sorry guys, but it's just a charcoal coloured tencel for my work wardrobe. I need to add some, you know, generic trousers in. I thought these would be quite smart, but they've got that little bit of a sheen to them because they're a tencel, but it's like a very sort of charcoaly denim sort of colour. But yet they're flowy and they're drapey, and actually they probably look really nice as a going out pair of trousers because of that sheen. But for work, I think they'd be perfect as an elasticated waist pair of trousers. There is a Vogue pattern where you've got like a little side zip on there as well. I think I've got that in my fabric somewhere. That would be quite nice as these. But the highest sizing on that I think is like my body measurements as a 46-inch hip. So yeah, probably an elasticated waist pair, but I just think that would be lovely. And I did pick that up as well from Just So Penrith. And the final thing I picked up, I'm going to pop a picture in here because I've just chucked it straight out into my winter fabrics. This is me wearing Adele's coat that she made. She made a Nova coat, but this particular fabric I searched everywhere for, high and low. She got it from Barry's and they had it on this website, and they had it. They had 2 meters of it left, and I picked up those last 2 meters because I'd searched everywhere for this fabric and hadn't found it. And although I know that I paid a lot more for it than she did because she got it from Barry's, I definitely paid a premium on it. This is perfect, and it's going into my wardrobe, and I'm thinking maybe like a Jessie Coatigan or something like that for myself in the winter because I just love it. Yeah. And I'm sure you will when you see it too. So that's the fabrics that I purchased this week. I did pick up a fabric from my swaps table at the Sewing Social, and it's this gorgeous grey knit fabric here. It's got some animal print in it, can you see? Got these lovely sort of like sketches on it, which is really interesting. It's a little bit sheer. It's very lightweight, but I think when it's against your skin, it will be absolutely, I mean, look, I'm wearing quite heavy pattern and you cannot really see that pattern underneath. Oh, a little bit, not much. So I think this would be really nice as a cardigan, or it would be nice as sort of like a slinky style top. Either way, it's going to go out for my more autumny colours because I feel like because it's got that cooler tones with the greys and the blacks and the purples. Definitely be more suited for the autumn winter months. We're finally getting some sunshine here in the UK, and here's me talking about the autumn winter months. Now, I haven't said, but the jumpsuit I am wearing today is the New Look jumpsuit that I shared with you in last week's Friday Sews. This is the 3rd time I've worn it, I think, but it's just so comfortable. It's like wearing secret pyjamas, and it's lovely. Although my daughter, bless her, I put this through the wash, and I'd gone off to work, and she'd done me a favour and changed over all the washing and everything. Now, normally I will pull my handmade garments out, hang them up, not put them through the tumble dryer, and she shoved this in the tumble dryer, and I was petrified that it was going to be too small for me when I put it on, but it's turned out okay. And did say to her, look, I love you for helping me out, darling, but please, please, please just make sure you're not putting my stuff through the tumble dryer because it can damage it and wear it a little bit quicker than I'd like. So yeah, so I think that is everything. Yeah, that's everything I've got to share with you. I am hoping that I get a bit more sewing done this week. I'm not actually going to make any commitments or any plans. I think I'm just gonna go with the flow and see what I can get done. I have an appointment tomorrow which I'm hoping will help, so we'll just see. Keep fingers crossed for me. And yeah, and thank you all for sharing, liking my calendar. Thank you all for purchasing from my D-stash. Thank you just so much for all the support and care that you all give me and the messages that you leave me, because I absolutely love them, and I feel so lucky to be part of this world and community. So take care, guys. Catch you all soon. Oh, and celebrated my 5k, by the way, here on YouTube this week. Thank you very much for everybody who helped me get there. Right, on that note, I'm going to leave you to it. Take care. Bye.